you work on a literature review, what are the different methodologies that can be adopted for your research, and with the methodology or with the extracted data that you get, how do you make an analysis, how do you discuss it, how do you apply theories, and how do you conclude. And also coming up to the references part, there are different types of citations, as we all know. So what are the different types of citations? How do you cite it? What is appendix? In case if you have other annexures like conducting interviews with VIPs or conducting interviews with authors, how do you go about with that? Yes, so these are different parts of research, and now we also have something called plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Is it a very serious crime? What are the different types of plagiarism? So all these we will be covering up in the upcoming days. Now coming up to today's topic, we will see what is research and how you identify your research problem or research area or your area of interest. Okay, so that's what we will concentrate on day one. So to start up with, what is research? I can see like there are many teachers, experienced teachers over there here on the platform, many budding scholars, many scholars who are yet to know, who are on the verge of completing your PhD. What is research? Can you define research before we proceed? If you don't feel comfortable unmuting your mic and giving your views, you can even respond. What is research to you?
Research is nothing but, it's a systematic inquiry, like identifying a problem and working towards it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, ma'am. So it is a very systematic inquiry. She has come up with that encyclopedia definition, okay, the exact definition, a systematic inquiry where you come up with a problem and you also sort it out, okay? Yes. There are a few typing it over here in the chat box. I'll read it for you. It's loading. Yes, okay. So research is to explore something already exists. Okay. This by Sagar Tipness. Research is okay. You find out something that already is there. Okay. Ms. Muthulakshmi, research is exploring and finding new insights in already existing research. Okay. And the repetition by Sagar. It is to search again something which already, okay. Shalini, research is research for something new or to existing exists. Okay. So research, very good. So this is the right definition given by Ms. Shalini. So research is you split the word. It is research. You search for something. So what is this prefix? Re. Re is again and again. Exploring new findings. Good. It is different from innovation. Very good. Any other definition for the word research? So research is I search for something again and again, and I keep searching, I keep exploring. That is called research. That is called research. Okay? Yes. Okay. Now, those of you who have decided that you have to take up this short-term course on this particular topic, when did you start or when did you know that you have this thirst for research? You are capable of researching. When did you find it out? Am I audible? Yes, the lines are connected.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, if you have decided to take up this short-term course and attend this for 10 days, definitely it means that you have that research blend, okay? That craving to do a research. You have that bend for research. You have that flair of writing. But my question is, when did you find out that you are capable of researching, that you have that thirst or that interest in doing a research. When I did my first research paper without any guidance. Okay, when was it? When can you just mention that age? Was it when you did your UG or PG or your MPhil? Or someone really pushed you into doing a doctoral thesis and you started up writing a paper and then you found out that you have some thirst for that? 22, good. Okay, then when I was in my PG, when I presented my first paper, okay, good. Okay, when I was 19, very good. When I want to research to solve my business problem, which is a problem in general for all the farmers. Okay, very good. Okay, then. Okay, it looks like you have discovered this research thirst at a very, very young age. Good. In that case, your research journey is going to be long. It's going to be big. You can achieve many more things. Yes? Okay, fine. Okay, Ms. Shalini, I'm doing PhD. Okay, when I joined the college as a faculty. Okay, Ms. Kavita. Good. Thanks for all your response, Ms. Jatin. When I did my first dissertation while I was 22. Oh, so this is when we all know, we come to know what it is to write a paper. Yes or no? What it is to write a paper or what this research is all about. Yes? Yes? Okay. Now, my question is, how do you identify your area of interest? Or even before that question, what is this area of interest? For those of you who have come very late and just giving a quick recall, so this 10 days program will be working on the ABCs of research, right? From the title of the topic till references, appendix and annexure, including the serious issue called plagiarism. And today we are just seeing what research is, how you identify your area of interest, and how you coin your research problem. Just 3 questions I'm going to address. Okay, fine. Now, how do you identify, or what is area of interest? Is this, so it's something in which we would like to do research. Okay. Okay. Any other definition? What is area of interest? Specialization. Very good. Very good.
Finding the gap in the existing research.
Okay, very good. Area of interest is something that spikes curiosity and interest in you. Okay. While it also has something to explore further. Okay. Okay. I'll just cite it with an example. Okay. For example, my major is English. Okay. My major is English. Finding the research gaps, something that you want to study deeply. Fine. Okay. Now, English, when I started with the UG part, okay, BA English, what all will I study in BA English? Or say I will be learning this international language right from, say, when I'm 2.5 years old. When I'm put in the play school itself, people start teaching the kid, right? Abba, kada, they start teaching. So this language is a very familiar language to me. And I keep learning this language right from the age of 3 till, say, 17, 18, till I finish my school education. So almost 15 years. 15 years. So what all I learned in my school days when it comes to English? I learned English grammar. Yes. I have a few prose pieces, some poems. I learned to appreciate a poem. I learned to criticize. I have so many things that help me score marks like synonyms, antonyms, sentence formation. Then what else do you study in your school days? And you have something called English composition, yes, where you're trained to write a letter, draft a mail, write a paragraph, write an essay. Then, so all these comes up, okay? So in general, I know what English language is or what English literature is. So when I read a poem or when I read a sonnet written by Shakespeare or maybe a prose piece written by someone else, I know that Shakespeare is a dramatist. He has written all these plays. So I have a very bad understanding or a bad knowledge of who Shakespeare is. Once I finish my school education, my second phase of life, that is the collegiate education, and when I choose English as my major, what I do is my field, it is getting narrowed down. I'm tapering my area. Yes or no? You understand? Yes. So as far as the UG level is concerned, first year, second year, third year, we have 3 years of study UG. So what all we study, we have a paper now, as far as I remember, almost 15 years back, I read many papers titled, like one paper was English grammar. Then I had a paper called drama, prose, poetry, Victorian age. What else? English, no. Can you just help me out? What papers you are dealing currently?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, as of now, we deal with literary criticism, literary theories, cultural studies, film studies.
You have this at UG itself, huh?
Ma'am, literary cultural theories we did not have during our UG.
Ah,
However, my juniors are having it. So,
okay.
even as we go through years, the syllabus copy is changing, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. As far as
But
if you ask me,
as
reading literary theory or literary criticism or research methodology at the UG level won't help. Okay, it is a pretty dry subject and students won't really do it with interest. Okay, now they are including it. Okay, even I didn't have it and you also didn't have it. Fine. Okay. What are the other papers, interesting papers? There were papers titled like creative writing. We had journalism and mass communication. No, these papers are like elective papers. Okay, you can take those papers if you need some additional CGPA. Okay, that's how it was structured. The curriculum was structured. Creative writing, journalism and mass communication. Then what else? So these were all like, it was the UG part of my major. It helped me get maybe a very good knowledge of what this HEL paper is. No, we call it as HEL paper. I do not know how you call it. History of English Language, we call it as HEL. Okay. So the Victorian age, the Shakespearean age, Romantic age. So how it all started up with Chaucer, the Canterbury Tales, the whole story. So we get a rough understanding or even a very good understanding of what these ages are and who these authors are and what are the very popular works. Maybe this can help you to crack a NET exam or SET exam. The foundation. The foundation is laid. Okay. So what happened? As I moved to my PG, in UG, our strength was 75. Okay. English for competitive examination is one another elective paper. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, those of them who are aiming for UPSC exams, yes, they naturally take up this paper. So as I was moving to PG level, the strength of 75, it came to 22. So what is the reason behind that? It's the case even now. Even now, that's the case. You're not able to see a pretty good bunch of students at PG. No, it doesn't happen. Why? What's the reason? The first reason is many people, they change the major all of a sudden. Okay, which is also quite possible. Yes, changing the major without having an understanding that it would not give them a very bright future. See, if you fix on to English, move on with English. If you fix on to Maths, move on with Maths throughout. Okay, that's the only thing. Am I visible now? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
You
you are
are
visible.
visible.
Yeah, okay. Right. So many people, what they do is they switch on the major, and especially when it comes to girls, many get married. Okay, they don't want to pursue their education. That is yet another issue. So with this limited, the handful who have been successful in convincing their family and who are convinced themselves, they pursue with MA. Yes. So when it comes to MA, how different is going to be your MA when compared to your BE? How different is your PG when compared to your UG? That is my question. So as Sri Sai says, many people take up BA English or whatever UG it may be, just because the family says, and it is like a pastime for them, a hobby for them. So once 3 years are done, their interest differs. Okay, they choose some other line. Okay, fine. So, as I told you before, from your school education, UG is tapered and PG is your further tapering. It's no more a broad area. When you come to PG, you're no more in a broad sector. Okay, it's just like, imagine a carrot. It's broad on the top. Okay, that is your school education. On the top, it's broad. UG, you come down the middle part. PG, you further come down. Okay, the one part that's there above the ground, not the root, but above. Just imagine a carrot. Okay, fine. Now, PG is, you have very different papers that sound very new, very dry, and also strange to you. Example, research methodology, literary criticism, literary theory. What are the papers you have at MA? And you have the same repetition, drama, prose, poetry. Okay, all these, they come again. They reappear. Reappear in the sense with a different syllabus, with a different tough syllabus. That's what happens. So MA is also done. So once MA is done, once again, out of the strength of 22, 7 reappear again for MPhil. MPhil now it's of no value, but long back, many people suggested that your PhD will be pretty good. Okay, it will become easier if you finish your MPhil first. Because MPhil, it actually trains you to do a better research. Yeah, as stated, So as stated, you have other papers also like modern linguistics, English language teaching. Oh, okay, you had a paper on ELT. Good. Cultural studies. Good. Okay, this cultural studies paper is something new to me. Modern linguistics. We called it just linguistics, and now it's modern linguistics. American literature it's an old paper. Okay. Gender studies. Oh, so you had gender studies, you had phonetics, yoga, health and wellness. Okay, yoga, health and wellness, it will come as an elective, right? Because it would be handled by some other department. Good. Post-colonial literature. Good. So all this is fine. Now, so MPhil again, we just had 3 papers. So out of the strength of 22, just 7 they opted for MPhil, and MPhil we had an entrance. We were selected, and the papers we had were just literary criticism, literary theory, research methodology. So out of this 1 year of MPhil, the first semester we had classes. So it will be just like 1.5 or 2 hours of class, not more than that. Second semester, we were not asked to come to the campus at all, but we were asked to do a dissertation. Take a topic, make a research, come and meet your guide, do your research, submit it off. Okay. Now, MPhil level, what happens? you get a clear understanding of what this literary criticism is, what are literary theories, when they had their inception, and how you have to do a research. Okay, so this is called tapering down. Now, once you finish your MPhil, you will be able to identify your area of interest. As someone pointed out, it is called the area of specialization. You can say, I feel like I'm very, very happy when I read a piece from American literature. I feel more happy, I feel very involved when I read a poem. I want to explore the many facets of modern linguistics. I want to explore the culture of Africa and the problems that they face. Okay. I want to do a research on child sexual abuse. It comes under gender studies. I want to explore the problems of these LGBTQ+. So once you finish your MPhil, though I do not know what is the reason MPhil has been taken out. Okay, MPhil is not given that much importance. MPhil has lost its significance, yes, but it was only through MPhil, or it is only through MPhil that you will be like, you will get the confidence to do your PhD. So MPhil is kind of a bridge, if you ask me. It is a bridge between your PG and your doctoral thesis. Okay. But if you're not going to have this bridge, I do not know how you will travel. It is a little difficult, but you can do it. Okay. So when you come to your PhD, when you register for a PhD, for a doctoral thesis, you will be very clear where to do, under whom to do, and what to do. These three questions are very, very important before you register for a PhD, because they are going to decide your life. They are going to decide your life. In which place you are going to do, the brand name of a university, the brand name of a college, under whom you are doing. Because as we all know, getting a good guide, okay, a good supervisor is pretty hard these days. I shouldn't openly state that, but that is a bit of truth. Yes or no? We all know that. And third is where, under what, what's your topic, what's your area of interest. So you have been doing English literature for almost 6 years or 5 years now. You have attended classes, you have taken up tests, you have finished 2 degrees or 3 degrees. What is your area of interest? When someone comes and asks you, ma'am, sir, what is your area of interest? You should not blink. You have to boldly state that this is my area of interest. And one more information, when you say that this is my area of interest, you must be, I can put one Tamil word there, you must be a Jambavan in that. What do you mean by Jambavan? You must be
well versed.
Yeah,
Well versed.
you must be the king of that subject. If it is like, say, American literature, when did this start? When did this American literature start? Okay, what was the first literature that came up? Who wrote it? Which was the year? So how did it grow? What is the progress? Was there any problem because of any civilization issue? You have industrial revolution coming up in one age. So what happened? What was the side effect? What was the impact? So how did the writers react to it? There is one age where women started writing under pen names. George Eliot, The Mill on the Floss. What was the reason behind that? What is this gender studies? What is the main branch of gender studies? Is it feminism? What is feminism? What are the different types of feminism? What are the different phases of feminism? So if you are going to boldly state that this is my area of research, Be very much clear about its history, progress, and its present current scenario. Is your field deteriorating? Is your area of interest giving birth to another area of interest? What's that? All these things you have to definitely know, because one fine day you are also going to be a PhD supervisor. You're also going to guide your scholars. So your scholars must say, my guide is a knowledgeable person. Okay. Just imagine your scholar saying, that fellow doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything. I write papers. I just add that guide's name. That's all. Zero knowledge. If they're going to talk this kind of sentences, lines outside, how will you feel? It will reflect on your personality, right? Yes. So we have to definitely work on this. This is called area of interest. Okay. So we have seen what research is, what is your area of interest. Now, how do you identify? I have come to the last phase. Okay, the last question. How do you identify your research problem? How do you do it? So you have finished all 3 degrees. You can even clear a net or a set. Okay. You have become a faculty in the college. You are very clear about your area of interest. You have decided to do a doctoral thesis. You have registered for a PhD. Now, my question is, how should you identify a research problem? How will you identify a research problem? How will you identify it?
By reading previous literature on it.
Okay, research paper on my area to find a gap, read it. Okay, fine. Say, through research gaps. So this is like a part of literature review. Literature review, I think I'll be covering on day 3. Okay, not now. So research problem is, first and foremost, just remember that you are not the single soul on this who has done or who has thought about a research problem. Many, no, you call something called chaos theory. You're aware of chaos theory. Chaos theory is a group of people in the whole universe, not as a whole, but as individually, doing one thing at the same time, in the same period, in the same place. That is called, that would actually create a chaos, a confusion. And at times it will also lead you to surprise. I even thought about that. It's partly, it's not wholly, it's partly telepathic. It's partly telepathic. At times we we think of calling someone, we take up the mobile, you get a call from them, you receive a call from the person, from that very same person. Yes or no? Have you experienced all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So something like that. That's called chaos theory. So whatever research problem you think, it is thought by someone else, somewhere, not in your own city, okay, not in your own country, but somewhere someone is also thinking of the very same topic. So first, be convinced of that thought. Don't ever think that you are the only single individual thinking of one research problem and you are sorting it out. No, you're not doing it alone. Many people are thinking. So when you decide on a research problem, for example, I can state one problem. Okay, this is not something pertaining to literature, a very general issue, okay. See, for example, I'm working at VIT University, or even you can think of your own workplace. How is your workplace in the mornings between 7:30 to 8:30 in the mornings on a perfect working day? Very busy?
Yeah,
Very
definitely
busy.
hectic schedule.
Any other answer? Very busy then?
Ma'am, you mentioned between 7:30, ma'am, and 9.
8:30 or 9. Yeah, 9.
Because our like most of the colleges they start at 9, so it's very peaceful when you go a little bit early and sit in your office. Normally, it's quite peaceful. Our colleges here always in Andhra they start at 9, never before 9.
Oh, okay. Okay, my university, it starts at 8, okay? The first class is 8, so we have to be there at 7:50 at least. Okay, so if you take my university from 7:30 to 8:30, it's chaotic. Chaotic in the sense it's hectic, okay? It is all, you can see the road is full of traffic. VIT University buses coming one side, students coming by two-wheeler, car, everything, almost autos, rapidos, everything enters all at one single time. So maybe as a faculty, I can think, what solution can I provide for this 1 hour of chaos so that things are sorted out well? Okay. So when I think of this problem, immediately I have to sort it out and I have to come up with a solution. So for this, I have to design a methodology. And once I design a methodology, I have to implement it on one fine day and check if it's going to work out. Yes or no? So what I have taken is a simple practical problem that a university faces or any workplace faces, not only VIT, but almost all. We all have that issue. Even if you have security, whistling and showing signals, many times it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is a common problem, and this is usually thought by engineers, technical people. Even engineering students can work out a solution for this. So this is how you are going to choose a research problem. So if it is gender studies, I can cite one example. In one of my recent papers, okay, it got published almost a year back. Now, what I took this, I was focusing on the first year students of my engineering college, okay, of my university, who had undergone child sexual abuse when they were very young, when they were as a child. No, as the phrase goes, it is child sexual abuse, CSA, I call it. So the questionnaire was provided to 500 respondents, 500 first year students, out of which I was able to get almost, I think it's 20 or 22, I'm not sure, of the students had undergone the CSA. And it was more of a quantitative analysis in the beginning, after which, from this 22, I made it qualitative. I made it slowly qualitative. So this is how you decide you choose your research problem. Now, we will just work on 2 research problems so that you may have a better understanding. So those of you who are already in your research journey, can you share any research problem that you have identified and you worked correctly? Or you can even type. You can say as to how you chose your research problem and how you are proceeding with that. Lack of facilities for disabled learners. Okay, so I'll just discuss these 2 problems for the day. Is it Miss Fozia or Mr. Fozia? Sorry, this name sounds very new to me. The person is there? Miss Fozia. Okay, lack of facilities for disabled learners. Okay, so what's your area of interest, Miss Fozia? Is it ELT? Education psychology. Very good. Okay. You don't prefer to talk, you only chat. Okay. Role of microfinance in poverty alleviation. Good. That's a good topic. Cost plus pricing for the perishable good producer. Very good. Lack of child writers creating literature for them. Oh, good, good. Kirti Manoj. Kirti Manoj is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. So what's your area of interest, Ms. Kirti?
I'm currently doing my PhD and I'm working in children's literature.
Child literature. Okay, okay, fine. So where are you doing your thesis? PhD under?
University of Calicut.
That's good. Okay, good. So how old is your PhD now? Your journey?
Ma'am, I just joined like 1 year.
Okay, you have just now started. Good, very good.
Yes.
Okay. So you have any target audience for your research? Have you identified them?
No, ma'am, but I mean, target audience is obviously as of now, I'm thinking the parents and educators.
Okay.
So I'm not completely taking it in the point of view as a pedagogical research, but I want to blend the art and pedagogy aspect of it because, yeah, usually adults create the world for the children, right? In children's literature, when it comes to pedagogy.
Yeah, okay. Fine. So you have finished your literature review then?
I am working on it, ma'am. I haven't completed yet. It's a work in progress.
Good, good. All the best. Do well. Your topic sounds very good to me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So all your topics are very catchy and interesting. So this is how you design your research problem. Okay. So I'll just give a recap of what we did today right from the beginning. So first is we saw what is the right definition of research, how you do a research. Yes. Okay. And second is we saw as to how you have to identify your area of interest. So right from your school days, how you get attracted to a particular subject, you choose it in your UG, and how you have that longing to continue it. So when you continue it, you naturally, like a carrot, what happens? It becomes tapered down, and when it comes to the PhD level, you're going to deal with the root of the carrot. Okay, that's when the real research happens. And last is to wind up, we saw as to how you have to identify your research problem. So before you identify your research problem, you have to be thorough. Okay, that's the word that I use. You have to be completely thorough with your area of interest. There is no point in saying this is my area of interest without knowing anything. Okay, that would end up in failure, and thereby you're also spoiling your name. Don't ever do that. Spend time and see how your area is progressing, what papers are coming up on your area of interest, how your area of interest is giving birth to another area of interest. So all these things you have to pay special attention so that you become very clear, and you can also easily choose your topic, your research problem. Fine. So this is for the day. Tomorrow is a holiday as per the schedule given to me. So we will be meeting again on Saturday. I'll start up with, I'll cover 2 topics. Okay. First is I'll tell you as to how you have to frame your topic, the title of your project, of your thesis. Okay. That will be the first thing. And second part of day 2 is we'll be working on abstract. So in case if you have already constructed abstracts, please do bring to the forum. If you feel, ma'am, I have like abstracts, so I have prepared an abstract for a seminar or a workshop or a conference, or your abstract for the thesis is ready, please do bring it to the forum, because I'll give you a professional template on how to work on an abstract. We all will be working on it. Is it clear? Or if you do not have any abstracts also, don't worry. If you find time either today or tomorrow, just work out on an abstract roughly and bring it to the program. Yes? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I do have a question for you, if you permit. I hope I'm not taking your time.
Yeah, tell me, tell me.
Ma'am, this is regarding research. When we say research, we have varied people of different ages and different age groups doing research. And often these days, colleges do push UG children, not the PG children, even the UG children into researching. And when I mean by UG children, it is also the UG children who are in first years, who are just being introduced to the course. Do you think it is relevant for them to start writing papers at the very first, like first years of UG, even without any prior knowledge, ma'am?
It
And
is
how to
irrelevant.
tackle this
Right? It is
problem?
totally irrelevant. Your question is a nice question. It is totally irrelevant because not even now, 15 years back when I did my UG, I was asked to submit at the end of submit a project at the end of UG. And what we all did is we got the help of Google. Because at that age, we didn't know what plagiarism is, what copying is, what research is, first of all. So as we didn't know what research is, we got the help of Google. So as far as I know, I even have the project now. Okay, it's somewhere in the wardrobe, safely tucked in. If I check onto it, my topic was like it is women's empowerment or something, identifying women's identity or something related to it in Bharati Mukherjee's Jasmine. Okay, so what I did is I went through Google, I got some materials, copy, paste, that's all, spiral binding is done, I submitted, and this is what all UG students do. So as far as the colleges or the teachers or the universities that compel or have the protocol of submitting a project, they do it for the sake of doing. And it is not going to serve the purpose. It's useless.
Yes, agreed, ma'am. And maybe I'll just put forth these questions before you. It's not necessary to answer it today. Could you please answer it as we move through the discussion? So my first question would be, can a literary research be conducted without the use of theories which are applied to a literary text? Let's say I'm working on a text, for example, The Binding Wine by Sashi Deshpande, ecofeminism perspective. And let's say I'm not applying the theory of ecofeminism, but just going on giving a blunt review of it. Could that serve the purpose of my research? That would be my first question, madam. And my second question is, may I, ma'am? May I continue?
Yeah, tell me.
Uh,
Yes.
and it's a technical research, like the people who do research in technical subjects. Is it very different for the research conducted by a literary student? And if yes, then how are they different is my question. So it's not necessary that we want to discuss it today, ma'am, but this I thought it is necessary in the discussion landscape. So I'm just putting forth these questions in front of you, ma'am.
I have answers for your questions even now, but I will answer to it when we start on day 2. But I want you to remind me once we start the session. Just remind me. I'll just put
Surely,
in
ma'am.
a single word, single sentence today, so that you are convinced. See, when you stick on to just theories and lessons or texts, as you asked, what contribution you are doing to your society? That is the main question. For example, many colleges even now. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, ma'am.
My connection. Yeah. Even now, they call Department of English, Department of English, Department of Social Sciences, Department of History. But when it comes to IIT, how it is called? You have a new term. What is it? It's somewhere very old, but we need to know the meaning of it. They call Humanities, Department of Humanities. So what is this Humanities? So where all the departments are actually clubbed inside. Okay, we come under one umbrella called humanities. So I'm more of a humanitarian rather than a researcher or English faculty. Agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So in that case, whatever research you do, even if it is a literary text, are you conveying any proper communication to the readers? Is your paper or is your thesis going to benefit the society? In that case, you can proceed. If not, it is not research. So that is the recent thing that is being forced almost everywhere. So I don't say I belong to the Department of English. I belong to the Department of Humanities. Okay. So if your research is going to benefit the society, so I can even take up an African text where, say, a novel, the recent novel, I took Uzuba, okay, that is the name of the novelist, where people, the author focuses mainly on this lesbian context, lesbian problems. So they are doubly oppressed. First is oppression as an African, and second is oppression as this because of this lesbian femininity. So when I write a paper, I write many things. For example, the recent elections, what did the president say after the elections of the US? He openly said there are only two genders, one male, the other female, just two genders. So what would happen to the third gender? What would happen to the queer people? We say queer studies. Where are they moving towards? What is their future? All these come into question. So all these I have to cover in my paper, wherein I'm giving voice to the voiceless. Okay. So to the other question, I'll answer it in the next upcoming session.
Yes,
Are you
thank you for
partially
your
convinced?
answer.
The person who asked me this question, are you partially convinced?
Yes, ma'am. Not partially. I'm entirely with you on that. And in
Okay, thank
fact,
you.
I'm very happy that you answered it in a very systematic, organized way in which it is very clear to my understanding.
Thank you.
So it's
Thank you
very
so much.
often that we run into such people. So thank you so much for your insights, ma'am.
Thank you.